When you were a kid, what was the first game that you played? What was the first game that you fell in love with? If not a game, what about a show? For me, that game was Pokemon Sapphire. I had a Game Boy Advanced SP at 4 years old with a copy of Pokemon Sapphire, and I was stuck in the starting room for a solid year straight. But I continued to play the game anyways. Once I got older, I eventually grew smarter and learned how to play the game correctly, and of course, it was an amazing experience at the time. But today, I don't want to shed light on that experience. Yet, I want to shed light on how I feel about that experience now. And I want you guys to do the same. Why is nostalgia so beautiful? And although other games give off great nostalgia for people, why is Pokemon such a driving nostalgia virus infecting everyone who's played it as a kid? Nostalgia. A sentimental longing or wistful affection for the past, typically for a period or place with happy personal associations. Pokemon is a kid's game. Naturally, kids are going to want to play it. The bright colored, cute, charming, and cool creatures naturally attract kids, which creates unique, memorable, and irrecoverable experiences for us. For many people, the Pokemon world is the first world that we explored. It was our first journey that we ever set foot on. Whether it was the earlier gens or for the youngins out there, newer generations, I'm sure we've all experienced the natural human nature of having most connection to a first experience rather than the second or the third. Just like how our first starter Pokemon has a large chance to be our favorite. Pokemon is one of those games that take you on one hell of a journey. It's our journey, and our story, and it differs from our friends and other people's. It's split into satisfying arcs separating the gym badges, conflict with hard battles, and annoying techniques such as confusion, paralysis, or even just the random wild encounters. But also rewards, such as watching your Pokemon grow and learning new moves and then viewing them in action. Beauty of finding something super rare, such as a rare 1%er that you've never seen before, or even a shiny Pokemon. The mystery is what drove us to keep playing. For the kids out there who had exploration in their nature, you and many others wanted to find more. Nostalgia for Pokemon is such a powerful sensation that sometimes it can bring tears to your eyes. A couple months ago, I was driving home from somewhere, and I turned on the credits roll theme for Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, and it brought some tears to my eyes. Some people describe nostalgia as pleasure, while others describe it as sad. But in reality, it's a mix of both if you think about it. I'll never understand why human nature is always so stuck on the past. It's pleasurable because the experience has shaped us into who we are and we yearn to remember such an awesome experience. But it's sad because we all know we're never going to get that experience again. Every single experience we have is completely unique, and the nostalgia for that experience varies in strength. But one thing is for certain, and it's that no matter the strength, it's always a completely unique feeling of nostalgia that can't really compare to our other memories. If you did play both as a kid, just think about it. Generation 2 and Generation 3 give off completely different feelings of nostalgia, even if you played them around the same time. Although we can have nostalgia for rough moments in our life, the nostalgia for our happiest moments will always mean the most to us. As a kid, you feel the least pressure and the most safe compared to when you're older. We yearn for that feeling again with the more difficult and harsh realizations of life as you grow older, and that's why every so often you come back to the first game you ever loved. You go back and pick up your first Pokemon game again, and lay down somewhere and just let go of everything. But something feels off each new time that you play it. You're a different person now, and you know so much more. It's not really a mystery anymore. There's nothing to explore that you haven't already seen. Well, maybe let's make a personal challenge. This time around, if a Pokemon faints, you can't use it anymore. And that's how the Nuzlocke was born. And that's why so many people play Nuzlockes. Maybe if you're naturally a creator, you crave the feeling of giving other people a new journey and a new experience similar to the ones that you felt before that will eventually be nostalgic to other people. Maybe you started making a fan game like myself. I started a project where anyone can come chip in and become part of a community where they can make a Pokemon game the way that they want it. And eventually, this project will be nostalgic to many people with memories of creating the game or memories of playing it. If you want to join in on it too, you can. Although the main focus of this video is for Pokemon, think about some other nostalgia you have for life. Any relationships or friendships that you had, or periods of your life that bring you extreme nostalgia because of the beauty of life surrounding that era, you can use the same principle of how nostalgia works everywhere in your life. No matter who you meet, The future is always a mystery with that person. The experiences and feelings you feel towards that person are extremely unique and don't always last forever. There are conflicts such as arguing that you have to get past, and it's split into personal arcs of your experience with that person, just like a Pokemon game. Nostalgia is what makes us appreciate life and our past. Nostalgia is what makes us appreciate every moment that we live in now. Naturally, we always want to go back. Sometimes we go through these experiences having spite for the present during that specific time and wanting to go back to somewhere else. But then, it seems as just as that era of your life ended, you feel the nostalgia pour in and start to miss it, sometimes even regretting that you didn't appreciate it in the moment to begin with. The beauty of nostalgia is indescribable. There's no way for me to explain to you what the beauty of nostalgia is, but it's only something that you can just try and feel. Only then do you really understand the true beauty of nostalgia. If you didn't feel it, maybe rewatch this video and try thinking of your own experiences during the video. If there's anything that you should take away from this video, it's to remember to appreciate and live out every present moment before you miss it. Because it's true, it'll never come back. But fortunately, you have a future full of mysteries to discover that will mean a lot to you eventually.